to my show. I am your host, Lawrence, and for now, we don't have an exact title at hand.
You'd speak a little louder too.
Okay.
Do it again. Oh, Lawrence.
Oh.
You'll be louder, baby.
Alright.
All the way over there. I just had a phone call.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lawrence, and welcome to my interview show. For now, I don't have a name in planned. It's all in the works. We'll figure it out bit by bit. But today, I have with me a wonderful independent wrestler and film director, JGeorge. JGeorge, welcome to the show.
How you doing, man? Thank you for having me so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, JGeorge, first things first. What can you tell us about yourself? Who is JGeorge? Nobody. Now, what inspired you to be in the wrestling business?
I just believe that I believe in the institution of theater. I believe in the institution of pain and violence. And originally, my wrestling name was going to be Pain Gently. And he was going to be like a gentle wrestler that caused pain. But I am a Juilliard trained professional wrestler.
Interesting. So you would say you were
That's what
a
inspired
man
me.
of the theater, here to bring story to a dry landscape in the independent wrestling?
Yeah, and we're trying to make it wet, moist, mushy. You know, it's not mushy enough right now.
Now, what wrestler inspired you to get onto the scene? What sparked that young little heart in you?
I've been enjoying Eel O'Neill a lot recently. Yeah.
Any movie directors also come to mind that have inspired you?
Of course, I went to the Newbridge Academy for Film, and we watched a lot of Trent L. Strauss, and he's probably been one of my biggest inspirations when it comes to filmmaking process.
Now, how long have you been in this industry of wrestling, and how long do you expect to be in it for?
Man, I've been wrestling for so long now that it's I almost don't tell people how long I've been wrestling because it's kind of embarrassing at this point. You know what I mean? It's like if I give you the number that is really that long, Jesus.
Do you ever see yourself in any of the major promotions, such as NJPW, AEW, or WWE itself?
Yeah. Of course, I believe to tell bigger and better stories, you have to have a platform that you can use, tools and objects and props to tell your story, and I want to tell the grandest story possible.
Now, do you see yourself stepping away from wrestling and pursuing more of the filming and directing aspects of life itself?
You know, someone once told me, may you have the hindsight to know where you've been, the foresight to know where you're going, and the insight to know when you've gone too far.
Now, what is some advice you could give?
Well, he just ignores the answer. Aren't people supposed to interrupt, or we cut that part out? We're not doing the interruption,
No.
which is good because this is a great conversation that we're having. It's very back and forth. You're really, picking up on my answers and kind of like branching off of it in such a beautiful, natural way that you're flowing like water.
Thank you. I'm doing my best here. It's the first interview.
I believe
a little bit on shaky grounds, but I'm trying my best.
You're nervous, but it's okay. I believe wrestling's like jazz.
Indeed. It has its moments and parts.
I believe jazz, that's music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I believe jazz is like music. It is music if you think about it. There's instruments, there's melody, there's a rhythm to it.
Now, would you associate
musical.
any other musical style to the different forms of wrestling, say lucha, hardcore, or even deathmatch per se?
I believe wrestling is more physical than musical. If you think about it, you know, there's violence, there's confrontation, there's conflict. There's, you know, there's punches.
Now, what sort of conflict do you hope to get out from these matches, to hope to bring to the crowd?
Great question. I I'm like, you know, I'm peace. I'm like, I'm, you know, 90s, Sobey. I'm Yin Yang, Rick and Morty. I'm Corn.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Any? Can you go more in depth?
Oh, absolutely. Like I believe like you got when you have the vision, you have to have like the focus, right? Like look at Becca, right? She's the creative director for Kodak. I like some of the Becca songs, but what the fuck does she know about making cameras? You get what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to do
Completely understandable.
with wrestling.
Now, speaking upon the Bushmills whiskey, what other type of drinks do you enjoy? What excites the taste buds? Which liqueur is your devil?
Whoa, the devil. That's demonic. That's like Satan. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I believe in life. I believe in ice.
Okay, then what
I like a whiskey.
angelic?
I met this old man. He told me the key to life is you got to drink vodka every day. He's like, you got to have it in your car with you. You put it in a plastic bottle. You carry a pack of gum with you. That way they can't tell you've been drinking vodka. But you do 2 shots a day, and it helps with inflammation. So I did that for a little bit. I didn't do the car part. I had it at home.
Okay. Respectable. Keeping.
Oh, you're
safe.
Russian. You know about vodka.
Oh, of course, of course.
Yeah, you drink it like this. You go.
Yeah. Well, nah, I take him by shots, and of course straight out of the freezer.
My thing is just keep it away from the children.
No, of course.
You do whatever you want, just keep it away from the kids.
Although,
that's my
an
own
old babushka tale that we don't like to say in the States, if the kid's acting up a little bit, put a little vodka in the milk.
Yeah, bro. That guy was Russian too. Funny enough.
Which person?
The guy that told me to drink. He's an
Ah,
old man.
okay, okay.
And he looked great too. He's like, I drink vodka every day. He looks fantastic. He was 82 years old. Yeah.
Now, seem to be at a
Like
bit of a
notes written on the table.
lost for them. I thought I did.
You could have had notes. It's alright.
I could have, but Let me see. Maybe I have something in my phone here. My apologies for the lack of professionalism.
That's where I go too far. You do it off the phone, man.
I have it written
What are
down
we
in my
at,
notes.
5? The interview's done. Sign us off.
Are you sure?
You have one more. I'll give you one question from the phone, and then we're done.
Okay. When it comes, as you said, the 90s,
Yes.
there was a major feud in the 90s, and I was wondering, in that era, what were you on the side of? Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Rock?
To me, it's like Stone Cold, The Rock, JR, Batista, Kurt Angle. That's a great question. I liked The Rock because he at one point he had $7 in his pocket. You know, he was colored. I liked Stone Cold because he was anti-authority. He was against the system, which is like how I am. So there was 2 sides of me trying to figure out, am I going into this rooting for The Rock or am I coming out of it rooting for Stone Cold? That was a question I would ask myself all the time. And then I remembered afterwards it was like, oh, I just enjoyed the ride.
All right.
I enjoyed the ride. You know what I'm saying? The journey.
Of course. The journey is always what matters. The story.
26 years old, world champion. It took Steve Austin a little bit longer. It takes people different times because everyone has a different story, and that's what it's all about. We're telling stories.
Now, when it comes to story making, one person does come to mind, and that is Sting. What are your thoughts about his?
A man called Stan. Boom, 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 boom. I like whenever
My
he.
apologies, but it seems like we have to wrap up. But before we go, what is one last word you would like to give to the people? What words of inspiration to spark their hearts, to start their journey, to listen to their universal goal in life?
May you have the hindsight to know where you've been, the foresight to know where you're going, and the insight to know when you're going too far.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, JGeorge. It's been a pleasure. And that is all, folks. Till next time, I'm sure we will figure out a title for the show. But it's been a pleasure. This is Lawrence, signing off.